And there's space for a couple of more microphones. What's up with the weather? It's raining, it's cold. It's 60, right?
Anytime it gets below 70.
Oh, 75.
Yeah, Jim's doing something on Shane. Just seems like he keeps on topping himself, especially lately. Can you just talk about this run of games he's had? And
You know what? I've said it before. I'm going to say it again and again. Shane is just all about winning. He just wants to win. It doesn't matter if he scores 5 points or 20 points. He's going to do whatever the team needs him to do to win the game. And against Florida State the other night, they really put a lot of pressure on our shooters on the perimeter, so we weren't even able to get three-point shots. And I guess that strategy was based on the previous game where we made so many threes against North Carolina. So Shane recognizes things very well as to what the opportunities are, and took advantage of the possessions where he was able to use a ball screen and either drive to the basket and get a layup, or use the ball screen to get a jumper shot for himself, or drive in there and kick it out. We shot, I think, 73% in the first half, so we were doing a good job offensively.
Coach, is this the future of UM basketball?
I hope it's the present of UM basketball. You know, we're going to focus one day at a time and one game at a time, and we've got two very important practices today and tomorrow leading up to Sunday's 6 o'clock game with Clemson at Clemson.
Have you seen Reggie Johnson's attitude since he's been back? Even though he's come off the bench.
Reggie's been fantastic. He's enthusiastic. He's working very, very hard. The other night, for the first time in a while, we were able to get him the ball. And it was at a crucial time in the game. We were already down 13-2 when he came in. We were able to tie the game up, I think, at 15. And Reggie had already scored 6 points, gave out an assist, got 3 rebounds, and we were able to get back into the game. So whether you start or come in off the bench, everybody's role on this team is extremely important.
What has been the key when you've gotten down double digits on the road?
I think poise. I think the players know that the game goes through a series of runs, and Florida State, very much like Virginia Tech the previous week, got themselves off to a great start, shot very well, and we contributed to it by turning the ball over. And they were able to get some easy baskets, which really builds your confidence. But we were able to then regroup, not turn the ball over so much. Got a great contribution from Reggie and Tanya off the bench, and then we took Shane out to give him a little bit of a blow and to remind him that he was guarding Michael Snare, who's an All-American, and that was a big matchup for us. And when he came back out, he really took over.
Look at the second half of that game. I mean, there were times where it looked like maybe you were on the verge of blowing it open again. They kept, like, maybe about 3 times we could get up to like a 9-point lead, then they'd come back, and next thing you know, you're one possession away. What was going on there in your mind?
Those runs, very much what we expected. You know, they're a very good defensive team, and they were pressuring us very well. There were times where we shot the ball very well, but times we turned it over. And basically what happens is when we got the lead, their defense picked up, and now we missed a few shots, and that gives them a chance to get some fast break baskets. And they were able to score on us and cut into the lead, and it was kind of a seesaw battle.
does Shane defensively get overlooked a little bit because he's such a dynamic offensive player?
Well, I'm sure he's not overlooked by the opponent because he leads the league in steals. He's a nuisance. He oftentimes now will guard the other team's leading scorer. He guarded Michael Snare the other night, and against NC State, we had him guard Scott Wood, who's a great three-point shooter. He guarded T.J. Warren at times. So, I mean, he's just a very, very good defensive player, and he's got great defensive instincts, great anticipation.
Defensively, what's been the biggest difference as a unit this year from last year?
Well, I think last year we were in the learning mode. You know, how do I do this? What do the coaches want? And during that transition, there are times when a guy really plays good defense, and there are times he floats back into his previous habits. And when you're trying to change habits and develop new habits, it takes a while. And from last season to this season even, there was some signs of improvement, but it took us a while to really get focused defensively. And I think our defense has been very good since Christmas.
How much better can they get on that end?
Well, there's a number of things we have to do now, because in basketball, things never remain the same. And there's been a little bit of slippage. And so we've got to get back to doing some of the little things we were doing earlier in the month. And we've got to improve a certain number of things so that we can get better. We don't want to remain the same, because first of all, you can't remain the same. You're either getting better or worse.
Jim, where is Tony in his growth right now? And had you wanted to get him minutes in ACC play, just because obviously you'll need him a lot next year with graduating players?
And what I really love about Tanya is his enthusiasm for work. He's got a great work ethic, a great attitude towards work, and he's going to get better and better. But as much as he would get better if we only had him play in practice, there's nothing that substitutes for game experience. And he's getting some very valuable minutes, and he and Reggie are a great combination. You know, Reggie's kind of a force inside, and Tanya's kind of that guy that just helps everybody defensively and loves to set a million ball screens on the perimeter. So the guys on the team like playing with Tanya because when he rolls to the basket and they can throw him a lob and he gets a dunk or nice high pass that he can bank in. So he's very, very popular. I think partially because he's got such a great personality. He's very funny. He is very, very funny.
Coach, would you say that most good teams are a reflection of their coach and mindset and attitude?
Oh, I think all teams are a reflection of their coach in some way, shape, or form.
So would you say that your attitude is no surrender?
I would say my attitude has always been the same. Very passionate about the game of basketball, very passionate about coaching and wanting the players to improve, wanting the players to work hard. And I'm most satisfied when our team is doing all the little things well, working hard every day, preparing every day to be the best that they can be.
Coach, you talked about FSU wanting to take away the three, but you adjusted with Shane and with the dribble driving in the post. How does having that versatility offensively help you in adjusting?
Well, because we're such a well-balanced team, I think we have 6 guys averaging 9 points or more. Mm-hmm. And you think of Trey McKinney-Jones, Reggie Johnson, Shane Larkin, Durant Scott, Kenny Kaji, Julian Gamble. We have a lot of different ways to score the ball. So when teams spread their defense out, we're going to do a little bit more dribble drives. They spread their defense out, we're going to do a little more post feeding. When the teams pack it in, like they do sometimes around Reggie and double and triple team, our low post guys, then we're going to look to shoot the three. And in order to do that effectively, you've got to have good shooters from three, and you've got to have good post players, and we've got both.
Coach, when you look at your George Mason team that went to the Final Four, and you look at their statistics, it matches up very similar to Miami through 23 games, I think, so far this year, including the individual players. Is that Larranaga ball? What is the...
I think it's just the way my staff and I approach coaching the game. You know, we like good balance. We like having 5 guys in double figures if possible. We like to get 16 assists or more per game. We like few turnovers. And we like to be very, very good at the defensive end of the floor.
How are Trey and Kenny? Yeah, I know that they haven't anything serious, obviously, but they have little nagging things. Kaji and
Yeah.
Jones. Just short.
We took yesterday off. I think they're fine. Trey, we've got to just keep an eye on him. He wears a boot around. Has he been out here? I think he wears a boot most of the time just to protect his foot. At this time of the year, there's a lot of wear and tear. I don't think there's any player in the country that's totally healthy. They all got so many bumps and bruises. I saw the other day Julian was in with the massage therapist trying to loosen up some of the muscles that were so sore. So it's not one or two guys, it's really everybody, but it's every team as well.
Coach, what challenges does Clemson pose?
Well, Clemson is one of the bigger teams in our league. We actually match up better with Clemson than we do some other teams. They're very good defensively. They're a terrific offensive rebounding team. They're very, very good at home, and they shoot the ball very well at home. So it's going to be a very difficult game, very much like Virginia Tech, very much like Florida State.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, everybody.